This video is going to be talking about how to get your ex back, or how to get a girl that's been long term, like just a friend. You've always wanted something more, and you want to try to kind of erase her old thoughts of you and start new or fresh with her. And this video is inspired by just recently. So I actually am wearing this Dodgers jersey. The man, Jackie Robinson. I just got back from the World Series. Got some cool souvenirs. I went to Game 6 and Game 7 in LA. And again, I'm a Minnesota Twins baseball fan forever and always, but I do love Jackie Robinson. But anyway, so I got to go to LA. I went out to kind of cap off and conclude my coaching that I had done with a guy from LA, and we had done about an average about 2 hour-long phone calls per month. And in 3 months, he went from what he really wanted to do was get this girl that for the past 5 or 6 years, he's been basically in love with her, but always in the friend zone and scared to make a move because he didn't want to lose her completely out of his life. And so this whole time he's been struggling, trying to get her back. And so when we had personal coaching, I could sit down and go one-on-one through his situation. So this might not be exactly the way that you're in right now, whatever situation, especially if you just broke up with an ex. But I'm going to try to boil down the principles, the fundamentals that I took from working with him. So that's over 6 coaching sessions. And I'm going to just try to give you the broad overview of what we kind of did and how we got him to now happily dating her. So it was like a congratulatory thing. He flew me out there. He took me to the game. He bought me beers. It was what an awesome time, but he did all the work and he got his girl. And I'm really, really happy for him. That's what I love to do, is I love to help other guys get success. And so hopefully you can use this piece of advice to try to get either your ex back or a girl that thought of you as a friend for a long time. Here's the plan. So the first thing we did is we had to figure out. So we went through, I asked him to tell me about everything that had been going on with him too. How often are you guys texting? When's the last time you communicated? What are your texts like? What kind of things are you sending? How is she responding? Is she responding fast or slow? Blah, blah, blah. But basically, I wanted to figure out what their pattern was together. And so the really important thing for you, the first step to do, is if you're trying to get an ex back, that means you guys broke up for some reason. Or you're trying to get a girl that has basically thought of you as a friend for a long period of time. The first thing you have to do is to make her think that you've changed. And the only way to do that is to take a step back and play it differently than you did before. Because before you can really have any chance of getting a little bit more like flirty and all that with her, if she sees you as a friend, or you guys just got out of a relationship so she still has this maybe negative image of you on however you guys left or why you guys broke up, the number one thing is to take whatever impression she had and make her think, wait a second, maybe he's grown a little bit. Maybe he's changed, and I want to get to know this new side of him. So that's how we did it. So the first step, now with him, the first step was she would take forever to respond to him, and he would text her back all the time. He would send these long texts. He would be really excited to text her. He'd always ask her questions like, oh, how was your day and all that. And because they had done this and they were a little bit long distance, they lived a few hours away at this point, since they went to different schools and then after college moved away to different areas, they had kept in contact, and she had basically had him in the friend zone for like 6 years. And he would always, whenever she would give him anything, he would take her little response and write a lot back and give all this effort. So the very number one thing we had to do is we had to stop that. And how we did that was I gave him the rule of like mirror texting. So we started with, when she texts you, wait as long as it takes her and longer to text her back. Now the reason we did that specific principle was because we had to stop the pattern. So she was used to texting him, he texts back right away, this long thing, and then she would take a long time to respond because she knew whenever she wanted to text him, he would respond right away. So we had to make her go, wait a second, why isn't he responding right away? That was the first thing. That's changing that pattern, because that sets her up to go, huh, this is different. Is he seeing someone else? Is he busy? Maybe he's doing something new in life that I don't know about. Maybe he's not interested anymore. All these things now can come up where she goes, huh, and she becomes curious. So step one was change the pattern, and then we're going to make her curious, and that kind of leads into step two. So step two, now this is by far the hardest part, because this is where when you have moments of doubt or insecurities, or you're wondering what's she up to and all that, step two was really discipline yourself to not need to text her, to not to need to feel that validation, or to get that, like, maybe you know this feeling, like when you really like a girl, you want her to text you. So if you're sitting there bored and she's not texting you, because again, she was used to him always coming after her, so she's just sitting here like she's not thinking about it for the first couple days, because he would always text her. She just thinks, oh, he'll text me. It's not until the step two where you play this waiting game a little bit, to where then she finally goes, whoa, it's been 3 days, it's been 5 days, it's been a week, we don't know exactly how long it will take for her to go, why isn't he texting me? But that step two is the waiting game part. And this part was, now he let it slip a few times where he'd get excited, he'd like really want to text her, so he wouldn't text her, but instead what he would do is he would Snapchat her. And he was still making progress, but he wasn't making as good of progress, because now he wasn't texting her all the time, but he was still getting impatient in Snapchatting her. So we had to go over that and talk about a lot about why we need to give women a chance to miss you. She's got to wonder about you, to think there's things going on in your life. Now, let's do it. Let's stop right now and just, a lot of guys that maybe ask me questions and don't get results have this common mindset, is that they just think, well, this is stupid, women play games and they shouldn't. I don't want a woman like that. But what they're not really understanding is this isn't women playing games. This is real life love we're talking about. And to a woman, she has every right, and I would tell every woman in the world, you should have high standards for the man you're going after. She has every right to have high standards, and guys just weren't meeting those standards. So we don't want to blame women for if guys are texting them all the time and they're getting turned off. Instead, it's like, what do you think a woman wants? Does she want a guy that sits around by his phone all day? No, she wants a guy that could potentially provide for her future family. She wants a guy that's going to be successful, that's going to take on challenges in life. So by not texting her, it gave her a chance to wonder, maybe this guy got something new, a new ambition in life. So it gave her that chance to think, what could have happened to him? Why am I not hearing from him? But that step two is the waiting game, and that's the hardest part, because you'll be sitting here like twiddling your thumbs, and if you really like a girl and she's not texting you back right away, or for a while, multiple days, that waiting period is the hardest time. So that's when he was able to focus on himself. So he said this is the first time that he really got committed to working out, going to the gym. That took his mind off things. So we talked about all these other activities you can do to improve your life, to feel better about yourself, instead of sitting there waiting around and getting all nervous and anxious about when she's going to text back. So that was the step two. And now I understand that's a hard part, and it's a lot easier when I can sit down and have 6 hours of coaching with him and then go have 2 long baseball games with him. You can cover a lot more ground, of course, but that step two, that waiting game, is huge. Most guys give up too early and they go, this is stupid, I don't want to play games. A girl should like me for who I am. And then what happens is they miss that chance on that same awesome girl that they really liked, wanting him back, or you but she needs to see these characteristics that she wants in a man. And certain things that happen over the phone blow that. It sends the wrong impression. So step 2 is the waiting game. And then after the waiting game happened, so like I said, he would make progress. She would text him back a lot quicker, and he was so excited to see that. That's all it takes. Once you see it works, then it's easier to discipline yourself. So once he waited along, and remember, it took a little here and there, but once he stopped responding to her Snapchats when she would not send him really anything, when he would stop just trying to text her out of the blue just to get conversations going when there was really nothing to talk about, once he stopped doing that, that's what I call fluff texting. That's when he started to see she was initiating things. She got worried. You could see that she was like, whoa, what's happening? She acted completely differently because he played it completely differently. And once she started to pop back into his life, then we were able to, the really third step was, so the first thing is you kind of break the pattern, get her to go, whoa, he didn't text me back right away. Kind of start fresh. The second part is you have to make her really believe that you're different by following through the waiting game. That's the hardest part usually. Then the third part, once she started to come after him a little bit, then we just took the opportunities. This is principle 5, opportunity texting or opportunity attraction, where he would leave little breadcrumbs about what he was doing, maybe on Instagram. He was going to the Dodger game, right? So he was putting that photo on Instagram, but not telling her. Before he would have texted her, hey, I'm at the World Series. Now he puts it on Instagram. She texts him, oh my God, are you at the game? I'm so jealous. And instead of him replying right away, he knew to take his time, let her wonder a little bit, let her think he's just at the game enjoying himself and his friends. And then, so those opportunities were huge. So we started taking all these little opportunities to build his attraction up to where he had higher status. So he was going to this World Series game. That's really cool. He was going to the gym a lot. So he was doing all these other things that, like, if she were to say, hey, what's up? Instead of him going, oh, nothing, like he used to do, he would wait a while to respond and be like, just got back from the gym. Boom, that was another thing that she was like, whoa, he never went to the gym and worked out all that time like that I knew him. So all of these little opportunities started to make her go, this guy is different. He has grown. I want to give this new guy a shot. And he didn't blow it by going back to his old ways of like needing to text her. So he became strong, really centered, confident. So cool to see. And after step 3, step 4 was asking her on the date. And this is again where instead of asking her, hey, let's hang out Friday, we went through a process of getting to know when she's free, letting it seem like he's busy. He can maybe make time for her in his new busy life. And so that made it so when they set a date, she was ready to be there because she's like, this guy's busy. This new guy, I want to find out what's been going on in his life. And he was able to take all this old stuff in the past that she would get turned off by and friend zone him. He was actually able to use all that leverage to basically turn it around. And now she was like, what's wrong? Why isn't he doing that anymore? And so it actually became a powerful thing for him because she was able to see this completely different man and become curious and intrigued by him. Of course, there's all these specifics that him and I were going over, but I hope this little kind of brief thing helps you. So here's kind of the 4 steps that we went through. And the first step is stop the pattern. Understand where you're at with her and break the pattern. She has to see a different behavior before she thinks differently about you to give you that kind of fresh slate so you can start clean. Step 2, hardest part, waiting game. This is where it's going to take a little while, a few days. Sometimes it only takes a few hours, but a few days, maybe even a few weeks sometimes, for her to notice this difference. And in that time, that's when you want to really focus on improving yourself, doing things for you to feel more confident. Step 3 was taking opportunities to kind of build his attraction. So now, instead of him seeming like he didn't have a life, he was taking these opportunities to be like, hey, I just got done working out. Oh yeah, I'm at this baseball game. Without like bragging about it, he was showing this really cool life that she wanted to be a part of. You better bet she wanted to go to that World Series game, but instead he took me. And so then step 4 was asking her out. And again, there was a way that we asked her out to make her curious, to be intrigued. And so everything about this, we erased the old pattern, and he literally got a whole new fresh start. And right now they're doing wonderful. And I'm going to keep in contact with him. I wish him the best of luck. He's earned it. He did all the work. He asked great questions. He really took the time to work on himself, and that was beautiful. And she's happy. He's happy. This is not a thing where he did pickup lines and now, they are dating now, and all of a sudden he's just a total kind of loser guy. This is a guy that worked on himself and has become a more complete man, and she's so excited about this. So this is not playing games. This is building yourself up to learn about women, understanding what is attractive to women, and that's a guy that is successful or has these cool qualities in her life that she wants to be a part of. She does not want to be a guy's entire life. She wants to be a part of a guy's life, and she just wants to make it better, and that's what happened for him. So I'm so excited about this. Jared, if you see this, you're the man. Thanks for the games. Thanks for the beer. Thanks for the memories. And have a wonderful, awesome relationship. I wish you all the best. You earned it. So there you go. There is a kind of short 4-step part on how to get your ex back, or how to get out of the friend zone if you've been in friend zone for a while. I hope that helps. Of course, if you need more specifics, I do personal coaching. I don't have a lot of extra time to do that. So if you're interested, you can email me at support@textingprince.com. We can talk about it, see if I can work something out or get you in. But if not, just keep enjoying these videos. Keep improving. Become a better man to be able to provide more for the woman you like. That's what it's all about. Don't forget, subscribe, like, comment, share the video, but definitely subscribe. Peace.